Sag, hi, it's Erin Scott here. So we're tapping in with an art channeling for this Aries new moon cycle, this portal of new seeding time, new growth. It's a powerful one too, because as you probably already know, if you're tapping into this reading, the sun moon conjunction that we had on April 15th was conjunct Uranus. And that was alongside a bunch of other cosmological events that happened Sunday, but also this week. So I'm recording this on Tuesday. And there's a lot happening now and in the next month. So you can look at my main channel to find the video that I created about that. So we're going to tap in to do a channeling to see what is the natural growth arc, what's catalyzing the Sagittarian ego growth narrative over the course of this month ahead. It's just natural. There's a natural growth arc, and there'll be events catalyzing that growth. So let's start. I have some gouache paint here, and hopefully you can see everything okay. The sun's reflecting on some of the wrinkles here, but I think it's okay. Okay. So Sag, I also have a card that I'm going to pull as well. So let's take a look here. What I'm doing is I'm just tapping in to see what forms, shapes, symbols, pictures want to come through here. I also have my charcoal here, charcoal pencils. So there's been a few of them that have called for both the paints and the charcoal. So we'll see what's coming. So Sag, I'm going to just tap in for a little bit here, and then we'll talk about the symbols and the colors, what's coming through. I hope you're all well. As I talked about with the other signs that I filmed so far, and with the new moon portal reading that I had done, there's a lot of energy that's really activated in the field. So if your body is experiencing some activations, it's normal. A lot of people are. A lot of people are. So if you are, it's just natural, but it does mean that it's necessary for you to really be mindful of your body, of your health, really listen, really attend, drink a lot of water as one thing, but there's multiple things that you can do. Movement, flexibility, exercise, clean diet. Would be good now, especially before next month's Uranus transgression into Taurus. You want to care for your body now, almost to prepare it, because we're going to feel it physically. We're going to feel that move. So there's a dog barking in the background. In fact, that's Boomerang. That's Boomer. Okay, the name of the dog is Boomer. So I'm actually going to write that up here because he's not barked in any of the other recordings that I've done. So Yeah. I'm always very mindful, as we all should be, to what's happening in the moment, or alongside, rather. Boomer. Okay. All right. So Sag, let's start talking about this, and then I'll add to it as needed, okay? Now, okay, let's talk about this, all right? So obviously this ended up becoming stairs. Hopefully you can, again, it's a little bit wrinkly there, so the sun's kind of reflecting, but essentially there's a stack of stairs here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. And it came down. If you notice, they were drawn downward. They started up here and came down. So there's almost like, let's say, a stepping down into some platform of a scene, a reality this month over the course of the cycle. And what I want to say with that is you're going deeper into yourself. Why? Because the color that wanted to emerge for these stairs is yellow. And yellow is representing third chakra will. And yellow is also, as you've heard me say before, it's a joyful color. You know, this is about expansion. It's about your expansion. And what I'm actually getting is that this is contained by these formed stairs, right, with squared corners. And, but it's an architectural modality to get down inside yourself, because these were going downward. So what I get is that there's a deeper look inside what drives you this month. So over the course of mid-April to mid-May, you're going deeper within. What is it that's my joy? What is it that's my juice? Okay. Now, Boomer is coming up, right? Wait, he's still barking. So Boomerang, that's his full name, Boomerang. And Boomerang talks about coming back, right? You send something out and it comes back around. Dog represents loyalty. It represents other things too. We are in the year of the dog, of course. Dog represents friendship, socialness, friendliness, loyalty as well, okay? So it could be that loyalty that you've put out there is coming back around this month, meaning to friends, to family, to coworkers, however it is for you. But it could be that, let's say, the generosity that you've emitted out, because this is written essentially right on top of this first stair. And so what I'm actually getting is that there might be this boomerang, and it could be too that some of you are actually going within, in self-inquiry, in reflection, and you're going within yourself to see, how has my loyalty boomeranged back to me? How is it that I've received or not received reflection, proper honoring from friends, family, coworkers? How is it that my loyalty is coming back around? That's what I want to say, okay? Again, no accent that the dog was barking. None of the other readings had the dog barking. One of the readings had my cat show up. Another one had the cat show up in the background, you know, but otherwise no animals. So it's just something to pay attention to. So how is my Sagittarius might be inquiring over the course of this month, reflecting, going into self-inquiry. How is it that my goodwill is being reflected back? Is it in dynamic equilibrium? Is it boomeranging back? The interesting thing now, what I want to point out too, is in the background here. So foreground are the stairs coming down into yourself. In the background is soil, ground, earth, but it's pretty barren. It was at the end when there were a few shoots of green are coming out in the foreground of this brown earth. But what is green and grown is this potted plant up here, right? So with this, you know, up here, in this potted plant is this fully grown, mature, green plant and leaves. No flowers, but leaves, right? So there's growth that I see as you, but it's contained and it's boundaried and it's proper, it's potted. So there's something about how you have grown, or you are growing yourself, or sprouting upward in the world, in your work, in however it is. It could be a multitude of things, a convergence of aspects of self that are growing. In fact, there are many leaves here, but it's contained. It's almost like the wildness of you, indeed, is maybe starting. There's something with this new, trust me, we're going into a new 7-8 year cycle here, everybody. So indeed, it could be that between now and mid-May, that you're starting to see the impacts of new growth. There's new sprouts of your wildness, of your truth, you know. Here, you have an established identity here. It's interesting because I will say, Sag, that identity has come up for 2 other signs, okay? You're the 3rd sign it's come up for, and you're the 10th reading I've done, or the 9th reading I've done. So I see that you have an established identity that's very nurturing. Nurturing. Green is growth, and it is in fact that which has been nurtured and that which provides nurturance, air, etc. So you are successful, you are nurturing, you have established your identity, but it's contained. All right. Now, indeed, and it's contained here too, because there's this arc here, a green arc. So you have grown, you have extended yourself. The world does know you, your community, your friends, your family, they know who you are. But there's this little dot here of red, which could contain, because there is a lot of Mars energy that's activated now. This could indeed talk about some contained thoughts, because we're talking above this physical manifest identity. There's this arc, and then there's this ball, the sphere right above. And it could be, Sag, that there is some thoughts in your psyche that are resentful, you know, that have anger, that have frustration, that are holding heated, fiery energy. You're still growing, you're still expressing, but it's contained. It's all in a pretty picture here. So I just want to point this out. There's something in your psyche that's wanting you to attend to it, see it, confront it, own your frustration, own it, right? Nobody else is doing it to you. The people doing it to you are reflecting, they're triggering something that lives within. So there's an internalized anger here that wants to be acknowledged, okay? Again, a lot of earth, just soil, brown. But indeed, over this cycle, there are a few wild sprouts of green growth, of Sagittarian green growth that are coming. They're rising. Aspects of you. Now, this is in 3, right? The stairs here, let's just point out the numbers here. So we have 4 stairs descending down. 4 does represent stability and structure. So it's almost like in a rather organized way, Sag, that you are choosing via your free will, which is also yellow, this 3rd chakra area of the body, of the system, of the psyche, that it could be that you're choosing in an organized way to go into yourself to really work out any confusion or any threads of inquiry within that are not totally clear right now, but they will be. And I do believe that this is actually the theme of the self-inquiry, what we talked about earlier with boomerang and dog, okay? Now, boom, if we just talk about boom, could talk about explosion. And we have here this red, let's say, frustration narrative that lives in the psyche. So indeed, there's something about how does my loyalty come back to me? And there could be frustration about that coming up. And indeed, with the boom in there, and I'm getting a sharp squeal in my ear right now, in my left ear. It could be that there is a boom. Something explodes this month. It might not be a big explosion actually, but something comes to light over the course of this cycle ahead to aware you to, okay, how am I respected? How am I met by the other, by family, by coworkers, you know, by friends, by colleagues? But here, so that's the organization that I see you actually free will going within yourself with maturity, with self-inquiry. Here, there's 3 sprouts of your wildness. This is unpotted. This is you that's growing outside of the pot, outside of the norm, outside of your own contained ego identity persona narrative. 3 does represent community, communion. It represents communication. It represents new birth and creativity. So there's this organic new shoots of your new birth. It's like a new birth, but it's really your true self. Now, the moon came up here in blue with a yellow streak through it, actually behind it. The moon, it might be, and I don't have my ephemeris with me, in front of me, right here, but it could be that at a quarter moon phase, which could be coming right up actually, that at a quarter moon phase between now and the middle of May, that time frame of quarter moon activation could be that there's clarity that comes with regards to your identity. And because the yellow is reflecting the self-inquiry dive into how you are respected, how your loyalty is respected or not, etc., and how you maybe give your loyalty too easily to another, you know, without holding your boundary, holding your energetic boundary, your owning your place in the world kind of thing. Maybe giving yourself away too much. But I do think maybe at the quarter moon cycle, everybody, that's when you're gonna do some reflection about your identity in this world. Okay, what is it that needs to be looked at, adjusted? Not about you per se, but to align with your truth, with your strength, with your confidence, with your natural soul print. For those of you that do want to learn about your soul print identification and the rest of my work, my holosynthesis work, you can go to the alchemyofholism.com. I am going to pull a card for you. This is going to be the prime growth edge for you. I'm using the Carolyn Mace archetype cards, as I have for 3 years now. Let's see what the prime growth edge is for you over the course of this month. Really good. Really good. Okay. So Sag, the growth edge for you this month is shapeshifter. Okay, this is about navigating through different levels of consciousness. Now, What wants to be evolved out of is the shadow attribute, that which we hold in a toxic or lower frequency way. What wants to be evolved out of, Sag, over the course of the cycle is projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. So it's all about projecting your reality onto the truth of what is versus actually seeing what is, okay? What wants to be evolved, matured, grown over the course for you, over the course of the cycle is a skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, the ability to see the potential in everything. This is beautiful. Shape shifting. This is about complete access of truth. And you know what I love too about this is well, first of all, we can look at the brown too, okay? The brown of like replicating the brown here. What I love so much about this is that, what was I going to say? The shape shifting. Oh, the fact that the green has like jumped out of the pot sort of a thing, you know? It's like there's no longer a containment now. But maybe this frustration here, this anger that's building and that you become aware of and you own what it is, you own what it's about, you learn what it's about if you're not clear, that starts to jump out these seeds out into the fertile soil of potentiality, of the consciousness field, of your different levels of self. And you better believe that's going to start to grow. I'm getting some chills with that. So I hope that serves you this month. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful month ahead. It's going to be a powerful month ahead, and it's going to be a powerful year ahead, 3 years ahead, 7 years ahead. Okay, so it is important in all seriousness that we get clear and truth seeing, truth owning, and able to stay and be grounded in the world as it's moving forward, okay? So for those of you that want to learn more about my work, thealchemyofholism.com. I'm sending you much love. Talk to you next month. Bye.